Hot take. Forza Horizon 5 is a good car game. Not great, not mid, just good. In my humble yet absolutely correct opinion, about 60 to 70% of its success comes from its amazing driving model, which, while being far from simulation, provides players with a challenge to use brakes and be focused while driving the car. At least in theory. In fact, it's advanced enough for driving assists to be needed sometimes. Currently, Forza has anti-blocking system to prevent wheels from locking up while braking, stability control to prevent oversteer and going off the track, launch control to maintain the power which goes to the wheels at the start, and traction control to maintain the power after the car had been launched. There is, however, one problem. They suck. Badly. Not how they walk, that's actually pretty good, but this question is quite tricky. Let me explain. This beautiful hot rod has rear-wheel drive, 900 horsepower and consequently enormous wheel spin, which goes away only on the fifth gear. This is the most obvious example of launch and traction control being needed. The question is, how would we turn them on? It's quite easy. We go to the settings, difficulty, and toggle what we need, traction and launch control. Now let's see how they walk. It goes much more smoother, and apart from this little snap at the end of the first gear, it has no wheel spin, no loss of friction. In other words, it walks as it should walk. Now let's say I want to participate in the rally race. Obviously, I ain't gonna take this Chevrolet on the dirt, so I will choose this beautiful Lancia instead. And yes, this is Lancia, not Lancia. This car has good off-road tires and all-wheel drive, therefore it does not need neither launch nor traction control. How would we turn them off? Yep, we go to the difficulty and turn everything off. So far so good, isn't it? It's quite easy to toggle assists both in the open world and before the single-player race. Forza, however, is a bit more than that. In its core, it's an online racing game. And what is the definitive feature of online racing game? Arguably, online racing itself. So let's see how it works there. And nothing. Not a single button, not a single menu, not a single switch that would allow you to toggle assists, which is quite sad. And it's not like that I wasn't looking hard enough. I googled it and found nothing. Then I resorted to the most credible source, Reddit. In particular, r/Forza Horizon, r/Forza Horizon 5, and the most Forza-related sub of them all, r/build from the ground up. Only then I received few comments that confirmed that there is indeed no such feature in the game. And I decided to add it myself. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you the configurable assistant for Forza Horizon 5. This is a program that provides traction and, partially, launch control functionality without the need to go to the difficulty menu. It does so by detecting the loss of traction on the wheels, applying the reducing coefficient to the gas pedal, thus reducing the power which goes to the wheels, thus restoring the traction. Now let's see how it works. The first two fields are entirely technical. You need to specify the input device and the telemetry port. Needless to say that this telemetry port needs to be exactly the same as the port you specified in the game. Now let's see the funny part. Once again, a car without traction control behaves like a car without traction control. Now let's enable it in my program and it just works. Since this is a configurable assistant, let's see what can be configured. Drop rate defines how smoothly the gas coefficient drops or rises. Threshold defines the percentage of tire grip loss required for traction control to kick in. Minimum coefficient defines the lower limit of the gas coefficient. Force coefficient sets a fixed coefficient for gas control that overrides the default calculations. Launch control works well enough in the open world, but does not in races for some reason, so it is just kinda hair. There are some technical limitations. For example, this program works only with controllers, and I have tested it only with Microsoft ones, because I don't have anything else. Now let's address an elephant in the room. Is it even legal? And the answer is I don't fucking know. This program does not interfere with game's files, nor with game's process. It provides a feature which already exists in the game, although with a little bit more logic to it. And yet, I will not provide an executable file, and I do not recommend you using this program. With Forza Horizon 6 being on the horizon, one can hope that the devs will give us an opportunity to toggle assists individually for every single car as it should be. Until then, you can check the source code for my program in my GitHub, link in the description below. Hit a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.